Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. I'm Judy Zelina. Today on our program we have joining us Dawn Blakesley, and Dawn is the Erie County Recycling Coordinator. We also have Jessica James. Jessica is the Program Director for Environment Erie. And the reason I have these two guests on our program is they have kind of teamed together, Erie County and Environment Erie, and they have formed a program throughout Erie County called RecyclErie, and they're going to give us a little bit of information about this. So first off, thank you for joining us. I know both of you guys are really busy, but I felt it was so important to let the residents know this new program that you guys are doing, and I'm really excited about it too.
Thank you. I think we're really excited too.
Yeah, it's going very, very well, and actually going faster than we thought.
So first off though, what is RecyclErie?
RecyclErie is basically, it's an incentive-based program that we are pitching to bars and restaurants is where we started.
Okay.
And we started there because that's an area of business that's not getting much attention from the municipal folks in their recycling programs. But they are huge generators of cans and bottles, basically, or other items with it if it was a restaurant. There was also an article about 2 years ago in Times News. It was pretty negative. They did a survey of bars in the city of Erie and asked, do you recycle? And the answers were, no, we used to, I don't know what happened. Or, no, I don't know anything about that. And then they would say, well, it's mandated. Oh, well. And so between that article, that got me thinking, man, we got to take care of this, because it's not only the city of Erie, it's all over the county. And we're missing out on those numbers and providing the opportunities to those businesses that should be recycling and allowing those consumers who go in there and know that those items are being recycled, whatever they may purchase. So prior to that, I had worked with Jessica on composting workshops. Basically, we hold some Saturday classes where people would come, and we had a master gardener, and they'd go through the program, and at the end of the program they would get a composter to take home. Well, that worked so well, and we teamed up so well that then we made a little bit more official and made a partnership agreement, and then took it to the next level. And I said, let's tackle this recycling in the bars and restaurants. And she was all for it, and we worked, I don't know, a month or so trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to call it? How do we actually do this? How do we pull it off? Can the two of us do it? I knew I couldn't do it by myself in Office of One. I didn't have the time. So I needed some help, and boy, it's taken off. It's doing very, very well. Our main partner is Waste Management. They provided one of the big incentives for the bars and restaurants. We do advertising, we give out free bins to people who sign up. So it's a very, very good program, totally incentive-based. The county has no way to force those businesses to recycle. Right. Municipalities do, but the carrot is always better than the stick, so we try and stay away from that. So that is the program.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, Dawn was talking about mandated communities. This all falls under Pennsylvania Act 101, doesn't it? And what does that tell us we have to do?
Sure. The Act 101 mandate states that out of all of the counties in Erie County, there are 6 that are required to recycle and create those ordinances to set in place. And of those 6, it's the city of Erie, Millcreek, Fairview, I believe it's Harbor Creek, Quarry, and I'm probably missing one. Then Summit also. So that was based on population density. And going back to what Dawn was mentioning, I know that I recycle at home, and I think that it was frustrating for us to see that we do our part at home, and to go out to a bar or restaurant and not see that happen. It's like you know you're doing your part for the environment. You want to make sure it's happening everywhere you go, and to see that we weren't recycling when we went out to a bar or restaurant was frustrating. When we did a lot of our research, it showed that through the National Restaurant Association, about 60% of consumers prefer that they patronize a bar or restaurant that recycles. And we did our own poll here through the Go Erie website, and out of 1,000 Erie residents, 88% said that they wish to see their local bars and restaurants recycling, and they had even mentioned that they would pay more to eat at those bars and restaurants to see that happen.
Well, I think we all are becoming more environmentally conscious.
Oh, definitely.
Because, as you said, Jessica, we do it at home.
Right.
So when you go out, even when I'm at a function outside, if I'm done with a water bottle or something, I'm looking for a recycle bin.
Right.
And it's very upsetting to have to throw it in the trash if I cannot find a recycle bin. Now, I know there are ordinances in place that you talked about. I know Millcreek has an ordinance that says that they have to recycle, and that's what a mandated community.
Right.
They have ordinances in place, and they have regulations and penalties if people do not recycle.
Right. And you can receive those fines if your municipality does enforce them. We went through a partnership with the city of Erie, and while they're not enforcing them, they're encouraging this program instead as an incentive.
Okay. So I know I did see the article on Erie Times promoting the RecyclErie program. I'm going to tell you, I was so excited because, quite honestly, in Millcreek, we have been working for a while trying to figure out how can we get more commercial recycling. It's very important because, as Dawn pointed out, it's important to recycle because then your numbers are higher, and it actually brings money back into the community. More recycling dollars back into your community to promote new ideas. So I was thrilled. I was so thrilled, and so we're jumping on the bandwagon here now too.
Yes.
And because it's just the right thing to do. So now you were talking about people that are participating are called crew members.
Correct.
Who are the crew members, or how many crew members do you have right now on board working with you?
I think there's 17.
17, new crew members.
And what kind of perks or benefits? Why should they do this? Why should they become a crew member? What's in it for them?
Well, as Dawn was mentioning earlier, we were able to, first of all, we were able to provide them with different incentives through waste management. So we never wanted recycling to add more to their bill at the very end of the month than if they were to just haul it away with their waste.
That's important.
Right. So we were able to help their bottom line by providing what waste management calls their zoo pricing. And so not only is recycling nowadays cheaper than it is to haul away waste, but we were able to kind of tack on that additional incentive for initial cheaper pricing, along with the fact that they waived all of their initial startup fees. That was about $460 worth of startup fees that they waived to help us sign on crew members.
That's a pretty good dollar incentive right there.
It is.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So,
and it's not just a dollar incentive. Several that we've spoken to, they get the environmental effect of doing this.
Right.
And I think they would have been doing it all along, but nobody walked in the door and offered them the easiest package for them to start.
Okay.
Where we promote them, we give them some bins, they get the great pricing to start, and it's just a no-brainer. And it's like, why wouldn't I want to do this? And our major angle, I think, is to get the consumers to go in and ask, do you guys recycle? Now, with our Windows sticker here, it says that we make it our business to recycle. So that identifies a crew member, so that people, when they're out maybe, I'm going to go to this restaurant or I'm going to go to this one. Which one? Oh, well, this one recycle. I'm going over here. Now you have a little competition between restaurants or between bars. And there's no cost to this, so why wouldn't a bar or a restaurant want to sign up for this?
And some of the other perks we have kind of scattered here along the table. We have the window decal, our certificate of participation. We have drink coasters here to engage the customer. We offer free advertising, and then 2 large indoor recycle bins that fit underneath the bar.
2 of them?
Mm-hmm, yes. So they fit underneath the bar, and they're great to get them kick-started with the program.
I love the coasters. The coasters are, what I think are so great about them is there's trivia questions on them.
Yes.
All different trivia questions.
You know the answer.
Okay, here's one. How long could your TV operate with the energy saved from recycling just 1 aluminum can? And there's A, B, C, or D. It's 50 minutes, 1.5 hours, 3 hours, or 4 days. So everyone's sitting around, they're drinking beer out of their container that's going to be recycled, and the answer is, well, you know the answer. 3 hours. 3 hours.
For 1 can.
From 1 can. So, and this is just one of them. There are, quite a few different, plus then they have cute little sayings. Just because it came from a bar doesn't mean it should get trashed. This is a great idea because it gets the conversation going, and it gives them something from a night out with friends that they do take with them.
Right.
Remembering that little bit of trivia.
Right. And that's what we really wanted. We really wanted the customers to be engaged in this program. It was a great marketing piece, but hopefully they go around town now looking for these coasters or window decal or their certificate.
Now, when you decided that you guys wanted to do this with the bars and the restaurants, did you just come up with this all by yourself, or did you contact anybody?
No, we're pretty creative people.
Are you? You are.
No,
right?
actually, we did some internet research, and we found a couple other municipalities, one in North Carolina and one in Ohio, who are doing a similar thing. And we actually talked to them to find out what not to do. What
that's the
mistakes.
important thing.
Where
learn by their mistakes.
Yeah, what mistakes to avoid. But kind of got a sense of what they were doing and how they went about it and how successful they were. And worked from there and took some of the bits and pieces that would fit here. And we sat down and we didn't, a day or two, started to gel it together. Then we got waste management involved. Okay, come on, give us a good thing, give us a good price. You're obviously going to get new customers or maybe some additional income from a current customer off of this. So really give us an incentive to do this. And they came through. We also, in order to expand this, not just through advertising and going door to door, we signed on some other partners who signed letters of agreement to support the program, and it's Downtown Partnership, the Regional Chamber, I don't even remember
Erie,
them all. Oh yeah,
Glenwood Beer Distributors, Erie Beer Company, the National Restaurant Association local chapter, the City of Erie, Millcreek Township. So we've got a lot of great partners. The Erie County Health Department. Everybody has been putting their feelers out and spreading the word for us.
This is wonderful. It really is absolutely wonderful. Jessica, where do you see this program branching out into other municipalities in the future?
Well, I think our idea is to hit the first 6 mandated communities, but I think from there we'd really like to see the larger events in Erie. I believe there's also an ordinance that states any large event that brings in about 300 or more people is also required to recycle. So we wanted to hit those large events next. Dawn is already through the Erie County Recycling Program actively involved in the block parties. So the containers are all down on State Street for those events, but we want to see that happen during the large, St. Patty's Day events and Celebrate Erie, those larger crowd events. I think from there we wanted to branch out to other businesses, but we haven't quite done the research yet. But I think those would include banks, schools.
Yeah, I get quite a few calls from employees. It could be a insurance company, it could be a bank, could be some business that maybe has 25 to 50 employees, and there's 1 or 2 people in there that just absolutely want to recycle.
Right.
And they ask me, how can I get this done? And well, you do need to ask the owner. I mean, but it's those types of businesses are being missed in the county as far as ones that are generating recyclables. And here again, if you recycle at home and you go and you recycle where you eat or go out for the night, why not at your office too?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter the size
Right.
of the office. Why shouldn't that be part of it too? So that and then when you go out and you play, you go to 8 Grade Tuesdays or you go to the ballpark, you should be able to recycle there. Because, I didn't grow up with it through elementary school. That recycling education wasn't a part of my education. Jessica's generation and maybe...
Surprisingly, it wasn't mine either. I know you're surprised.
I didn't say it was. They grew up with this. That,
You're right, they did.
It's just the way it is. We recycle, which is great. But there's still work to be done, but this program is doing very, very well. I think it's a long-term program as far as reaching everybody in the county because there's so many places we're going to have to go.
I do think so.
The one thing that's really nice that we've noticed already is we're getting calls now. People are calling us. Well, I heard about that. Can I be part of it?
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
They're reaching out to you.
They are.
Yeah.
And the program, I think Don mentioned it, but we've been going door to door. So the fact that we have 17 crew members signed on since February, I mean, Don and I have been, walking the first day, went knocking door to door in 5 different bars and restaurants, 5 per day for that week. And, the follow-up phone calls, and then maybe having either ourselves or Waste Management get back in touch with them. And then finally, when it's all said and done, we come back to them with all of the perks and benefits we promised. So it does take a little bit of a process between the two of us, but at least we maybe don't have to go door to door if people are contacting us.
Getting the word out. One thing I do see that might be a concern for a business owner, a bar owner, is what about taking the time to train staff? How okay, what are they going to do now? Is this going to add more time to their duties?
This particular program is what is called single stream. In other words, everything goes in one container for recycling. So there's no separation of I got to put cans over here and bottles here and cardboard over here.
Okay.
It all goes into one. That simplifies it quite easily. And for probably a lot of workers, that's what they have at their home, is single stream. Training, we will offer training. We will come in if they want it, but if they don't, that's fine. Really, it's pretty easy, and I think although there's a high turnover of staff in most bars and restaurants, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, everything goes over here. These are the items we don't accept. And when we do sign somebody up, we get a nice sheet from Waste Management that lists every single thing that's in that single stream that's acceptable. And it covers everything except food waste and bathroom waste.
Okay. And
so there's not really a lot of thought to it. And really, managers or can go in and look at their inventory and they can spot everything. Well, heck, everything on this shelf is recyclable. This one is. This one is.
Okay.
And if they have questions, they can contact Waste Management where they would take whatever it may be. Or they can contact us. But yeah, we do offer the training if they need it. One other thing that's very important that we will be doing is follow-ups. We're going to follow up with everybody who is a crew member and just ask them, hey, how are things going? You got any problems? Maybe they need an additional bin. Maybe the 2 bins that we started with weren't enough. They need another one. Fine, we'll get them another one. We want to make it as easy as possible. We want them to not come back in 6 months and say, well, this is just not working, without a really good reason, like ownership changed or clientele disappeared. I don't know, but we want it to be as simple as possible on their part, and to have some savings.
Yeah.
You know.
The bottom line is you want it to work.
Right.
Yes.
And I think Dawn brings up a really great point. A lot of times when I have done follow-up phone calls and I say, how is the program working for you? A lot of the managers say, I really enforce this. If I see an employee not doing this, I make sure to say something. So we kind of have, I think, in our crew members right now, I think we have a champion for recycling in each of them. So we've really seen actually not that many requests for employee training because we have that manager who is really on the ball and on top of things.
I wanted to ask you something because I had a hard time understanding this. You made the remark that, you made the statement that this could even save them money in their trash removal costs.
Right.
How can this be?
Well, Waste Management gave us the figures what they currently cost for landfilling, let's say, a yard of waste.
All right.
That would include everything, recyclables in there, everything. Or pulling out the recyclables and recycling that.
Okay.
It's $9 a ton to throw it all in the landfill. It's $4.50 a ton if it's only going as recyclables.
All right.
So say 60 to 80% typically is what is recyclable in a bar or a restaurant. You're going to take 68 to 80% of that $9 and put it over in this bin and save 50% more.
Okay.
There's your savings right there. You're doing the same thing. You're still disposing of that material, but the cost is so much less.
Sandy, I don't think many of our viewers realize the different costs involved in the trash and recycling.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a legacy cost associated with trash. I mean, the landfill is there. It'll have to be monitored for years and years and years, even after it's closed. So there's a legacy cost. There's a continuous cost of maintenance and whatever. Recycling, all right, you take the can. It goes from the recycler through their processing to the end user, like an Alcoa. He makes it a new can, sends it to Coca-Cola. They fill it. They put it on the store shelf in maybe 6 weeks. And it can go around again and again and again. And so there's not a long-term cost with that.
And we've actually, the last site visit we just did, we saw that one of our crew members was actually saving money through decreasing the amount of times it's hauled away. So by decreasing your dumpster size or the number of times per week it's hauled away, you'll end up saving. So what they've seen is that they're recycling so much more than they expected, that their recycling dumpster is a 6-yard being emptied 1 time per week, and their waste bin, their waste dumpster, is also a 6-yard, but they have bumped it now down to getting disposed of every other week. So that saved them money as well.
So it really would.
Yeah.
So, well, we're getting to the end of the program, believe it or not, but there's so much. I could just go on about this program because I think it is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
How can our viewers, what can we do to help you make this happen throughout Erie County?
We have a couple things. I always say, first, help promote. If you have restaurant owners or managers that are your friends or you frequent them often, you can help promote the program and let them know to sign up. They can sign up if they have not started recycling, and we can get them on board, or if they're already recycling, we're happy to just sign them on and provide them with all of the perks we've just mentioned. The other thing is to, I guess, spend your money wisely and to promote those bars and restaurants that are recycling and doing their part for the environment. So you patronize those places that are recycling and our crew members. And the final thing is to spread the word through Facebook. We've just started our Facebook group, and it's a great way to check out who our newest crew member is, but to invite your friends along to it too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you, Jessica,
Thank you.
for coming on, telling our viewers about this program. I am so excited about it. And with all of us, we can make this program a success. Viewers, thank you for tuning in, watching the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.